Yo, what up, Fadeaway? What up, Ben? How we doing? Hold on, let me get the other streams going. I'm gonna turn some music on because I kind of forgot to do that. Alrighty, now we're going. How we doing, everybody? Gloves at? Where them gloves at? So I'm going out of town starting tomorrow until Saturday, so I figured I better get this one out of the queue and off to the customer as soon as possible. Eating pizza and watching Impractical Jokers, that sounds awesome. Sounds like a great way to spend a day off. Also, I just finished filming a video for YouTube, and it's my first time. I finally busted out the Elgato prompter. I waited way too long to start using it because I thought it would take a bunch of effort to set up, and it was super easy. So, joke's on me, I guess. Yeah, dude, that sounds like a great combo. Thankfully, I did eat within like the last 4 hours, so I'm not actually starving at the start of a stream, which is pretty unusual for me. So I'm pretty excited for that. Yo, what up, Mr. Rainbow? How we doing? Guys having brain surgery, so I've been trying to stay busy. Well, I hope it all goes well, man. Is there tariffs on PC parts? As of right now, yes. I haven't been staying super up to date with everything going on. So you might have to like do some Google searching to see if there's been any breaks on the Chinese tariffs and stuff. Where's my, oh, my water's already up here. Okay, cool. We're ready. We're ready. All right, let's talk about today's build because we need to get on it. Because I actually want to get home at a reasonable hour tonight because I've been at the office working all day today. I know today's my day off. You know, if you're in the US, it's Memorial Day. Most people have the day off. But I've been working all day trying to get stuff out for customers so that I can be gone for a week in peace. So let's get started. We've got a Ryzen 9 9900X RTX 5080. We got 3 terabytes of storage, 48 gigabytes of RAM, x870 motherboard. Got a sweet Thermalright CPU cooler with LCD screen, 1000-watt power supply, and then we've got the Montech King 95 Pro, and then we've got the Montech fans, so we'll swap out the fans on the Thermalright AIO, so we have matching fans all around in the case. It's gonna be sweet. What up, Bot Slayer? How we doing? It's a PC build, that's what we're doing. Heard it's going back up to 140%. If so, will you still be building? If people are still buying PCs, I'll still be building. You know, my prices are just dependent on what I'm able to buy things for, right? So, you know, if it costs me, you know, 30, 40, 50% more to buy it, then it's gonna cost that much more for customers to buy it from me, obviously, right? So I'm not gonna like start taking a hit on the cost of the PC in order to try and maintain prices, right? So like, yeah, like a 5090 is gonna be stupid expensive. I really hope that doesn't happen. I hope that goes away, but we'll see. I don't know. I can't predict the future, unfortunately. I'd be a rich man if I could. I would have bought lots of Tesla stock when it was like $20 a share. Actually, a buddy of mine in college tried to convince me to buy Tesla stock when it was like $20 or $30 a share. So, egg on my face, I suppose. Question is, the RTX 5080 worth upgrading from the 4070 Ti Super? I mean, it will be a significant performance boost. It's hard to say whether it's worth it, you know? I feel like that's a bit more subjective. Too broke to get a PC, that's fair. Why does it look pre-recorded? Because I use super high quality cameras, probably. I've got 3 mirrorless cameras set up in here. So we've got the front one, we've got a top one, and then we've got a rear one. I guess you can't see that over on that stream, but we've got front and top, and then in this scene here, we've got the rear and the front. Yeah, so no, I just, We've just got high quality stuff, man. Let's go back in time. Sing Mr. Brightside. No, I'm not singing, sorry. I can't predict the future, bot. I'm sorry. I finally upgraded my RAM to 64 gigs. Hey, let's go. What up, Mr. Lemons? How we doing? Okay, so let's get started. With our MSI Mag X870E Tomahawk Wi-Fi. I am all over the place. Twitch, Kick, YouTube on horizontal and vertical, and TikTok. The name sounds tough. You kind of you memorize them after a while. It's kind of my job to be able to say ridiculously long names, you know? But it is a very long name. You're not wrong. Yeah, Blair, I'm not excited for there to be ridiculous tariffs. And that's why, like, in the past, like, especially with, like, the 50 series being so scarce, I was buying, you know, as many as I could afford to have in stock because I just didn't know what prices were going to be like, you know. What up, Mo? How we doing? It's good to see you. Got a steal on it for $100. Marketplace? Hey, there you go. Yeah, I'll say 64 gigs of RAM on DDR5 is normally 200 plus. All right, 9900X going in. How many viewers do I have? I don't know. I can't really watch the total viewer count. I don't have a big enough monitor to show that. My monitor here is just big enough for me to see all the chats in OBS, as well as any new subs that are coming in or followers that are coming in on some of the platforms. All right, 9900X installed, that easy. Okay, let's get our first SSD in here. Yeah, $100 on 64 gigs of RAM is great. What up, Ben? How we doing? All right, 1 terabyte SSD here. $15 on the vertical stream. Yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different streams up, so I'm not able to count all of them. Also, apparently I'm on the wrong screen here, sorry. Okay, 1 terabyte, there we go. 1/3 of our total storage for this system. Dude, these MSI boards are super nice. The price did go up. I'm guessing it's a tariff related. For a little while, you could get this X870E board for $300. They're now like $340, which is still a really good price for that chipset. So totally worth it. And I really like MSI products. Hi, Kopi. Totally worth it at that price point. Okay, this already has all the details on there. I guess I could put this on the back side. What up, Tibet? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna put that in slot number 4 right here. Yep, and that is the full spec list for the system if you're curious on what's going in here as we go along. Okay, there we go, 3 terabytes installed. We are moving quick. This actually will be a pretty quick build just because of Montech has all those pre-installed fans. I'm guessing it's probably only going to be like an hour and a half at most. still can't get RGB on your SWA fans to work. Saw red, orange, yellow flash on all of them for a couple of seconds, then it went out. Really? That's really frustrating. I didn't think that that connector would have that much issue, because I was able to get them to work here, and I don't think it got damaged in shipping. If you need to hit me up and I can try and like coach you through how I was able to get it to work, just let me know. X870 carbon or Taichi. I personally would probably go with the carbon. I mean, I would get the X870E, but I personally would go with the carbon over the Taichi. I just prefer MSI a little bit more. I usually, if I'm gonna go with ASRock, I typically will go with like their more like budget-friendly stuff, not their like super high-end stuff. Okay, that's all in there. Let's get our mounting brackets in here for our cooler. And I sharpened my knife this weekend, so it's nice and sharp now. It's great. Hey, Edward. Would you recommend the Intel Arc A770? I don't have any knowledge on the A770 really. I just finished, the video I was just finishing actually included the B580 related to a bunch of other GPUs. To be honest, it was pretty underwhelming in its performance with the an older CPU. Like I had a 5700X in the system and it did not perform very well. All right, have a great night, Ben. Thanks for hopping in. AM4. Stuff out of the way. AM4, AM5. Need that. Need that. Need that. Don't need that stuff. Ah, thank you. Appreciate the sub, man. Nice content. Oh, thank you. All right. Let's get these brackets off. It's nothing to do with you, brother. I mess with them here and there for a little bit and they get frustrated and stop. Well, I'm glad it's still at least working really well. Yeah, but if you need help, I can totally help you figure out how I did it. Because yeah, they are kind of a pain. And if it's a pain for me, then it's, you know, gonna be a serious pain for people who aren't used to using stuff like that. Is Galax video cards good? I just found a white one. Yeah, they're pretty good. I think I've only ever used like one, but they're pretty solid. I don't know if they just like don't get used much here in the US, but they're pretty popular, I think, in Asia. I think they just don't send many here or something. Yeah, Galax. Best motherboard? I don't know, man. I kind of tend to prefer the high-end MSI boards. If you want like a higher-end one. I don't like Gigabyte. ASRock's pretty solid for their like medium-range ones. How are we doing, XM4? What up, Siam? Wonderful. I just found a white one with RGB on it. It looks beautiful. Yeah, they look really good. Their designs on them are really nice. Same with like, I think Colorful is another one of those brands that like you just don't see here in the US much, but they make really good stuff. All right, that's everything on there. We can get our case out here. Ooh. This thing is heavy. Some parts that you can add after you're done building PC for extra performance. For extra performance, not much really. You're not gonna really get much more performance for things after you build it. I mean, you can upgrade parts, like, you know, better RAM or, you know, better GPU or whatever, but you can't just like add on random things to get better performance. What up? How we doing, Richard? I'm doing good. Just hit the purchase button, shipping to my house in 3 days. Hey, let's go. My PC has a 9600X and a 4070 Ti Super. It's all super hard to replace anything because it's custom water cooled, like hardline water cooled. So I don't really make changes on it unless I absolutely have to. And I've been so busy lately that I don't really game much anymore. Yeah, I've got like an X670E Crosshair Extreme motherboard. Got a bunch of EK water blocks and stuff. It's all very high-end and expensive. This one, yeah, the Montech King 95 Pro is what we're using in this build. I mean, I would always choose a B550 motherboard over a B450 at this point. Is the B580 GPU a good choice? It's not a terrible choice, especially if you have a modern CPU. If you have an older CPU, it seems to perform not very well. You need like a newer gen CPU in order for it to be usable. Micro Center needs to start shipping GPUs. Dude, yeah. I don't think they would be able to keep them in stock if they ever shipped them though. Best AIO for the price? Thermalright, the Frozen Prism, man. You can get the 240 millimeter one for like under 50 bucks. Oh, thanks for copying that over, Richard. Appreciate that. If I got an 8 terabyte storage box, if you got 8 terabytes of storage, it's probably going to be a hard drive. I mean, it's not going to improve your performance at all. It just means, you know, more storage. How good is a 4070 Ti Super? That's a great build. You wouldn't have any complaints playing any game at 1440p with that. X870, X870E, it's just a different chipset. X870E, I think, has a few extra features, and it's just a little bit better overall. I don't know that I'm well versed enough in the hardware to be able to like really say exactly what the difference is though. It does have to do with like PCIe lanes and stuff too. So like an X870E is gonna have more like Gen 5 capable PCIe lanes than a X870. Can handle faster clock speeds on like RAM and stuff. Okay, that is in there. Let's lift this guy up. Swap you guys over there. Type in exclamation point specs, Max, and it'll show the full list. They're also up if you scroll up a little bit in the chat, but. No, I would go with that. That CPU is going to make a big difference. A lot of games are very CPU intensive, and having a really good CPU is going to make a big difference. So, personally, to go from a 7700X or 7600X to the 7800X 3D is only a couple $100 versus like going up to a much better GPU is a lot more money. So it's not. I wouldn't do that personally. Okay, here's all of our stuff we need to plug in. Let's get our HD audio routed. Come on. Okay, HD audio, get our front panel connector. Okay, USB 3, just gonna go down here. There we go, a little tight. And our USB-C, gonna go right there. Okay, got that. We've got our RGB connector. This is for the pre-installed fans. As I keep smacking my water bottle with that flap. Okay, RGB. We got all that stuff plugged in. Sorry, just ignoring you guys for just a minute here. Okay. Everything that's in there is plugged in now. Cool, 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 cool. Plan to get a summer job and save to get parts for a PC with a 9900X 3D and a PNY for your first build. That's a crazy first build. Yes, this is the LTT screwdriver. A 6700 is a downgrade from a 4070 Ti Super. Don't do that. Oh, Nub2, that's a sweet build. 5070 Ti, 9800X 3D. What up, Sir Rat? How we doing? Yo, Mark, how we doing? What's up? Nice motherboard. That's the one we used on my son's new build, but in white. Oh, yeah, dude. I love MSI's motherboards, man. Is the 3080 Ti still good for current gaming, or should I upgrade? Yes, 3080 Ti is still great for gaming. 5900X with a 6700, kind of at the peak of AM4 without making The little incremental changes, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could probably get a little bit better performance with the 5700X 3D, but it's probably not worth the cost. At this point, I would say just save and make the jump to AM5 at some point. Question about your PC. I leave my PC in humid air for a month or so. Will something happen to it? Likely no. How humid are we talking? If you're talking like 90+% humidity all the time, it's probably not good for it. Could short something out. But if you're not using it, you know, if you can dry it out before you use it the next time, then it should be okay. Yeah, it should be fine if you leave it out there for a while and then give it time to like, yeah, in low humidity for a while. You know, it's probably not the best thing for it, but I don't think it's gonna damage it. Found a Z1 Extreme ROG Ally handheld. How would the price compare to full towers? Oh, I mean, a ROG Ally is going to be way cheaper than any tower that you're building. But it's also not going to come close to performance of a good tower. Boo man, what up? Doing good? Glad to hear that, Sir Rat. Yeah, I would say the best thing you could do if you're gonna leave it in a shed for like a long time, like come up with a way to seal it, you know, so that you're not getting a bunch of wet air in there all the time. All right, CPU, GPU, SATA, CPU, motherboard. That's all we need. Let's get our CPU power cables in here. Gonna have to work like 6 weeks of 7-hour days to get enough with some leftover. It'll be totally worth it. There you go. Just wait till you're like working full time and live on your own, and then it takes way longer to save up for stuff. Get it now while you don't have responsibilities. What up, Lunar? What's the name of this case? Montech King 95 Pro. If you type in ! specs, it's in there. Or if you look at like the details of the video, it's also in there as well. Okay, got that. Let's get our motherboard power in here. Come on. Sorry. Gotta get in your guys' way here so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay. Motherboard power. Oh, don't do that. Don't mess up the grommet. There we go. Okay, motherboard power's in there. CPU power's in there. Get our CPU power cables and our motherboard power cable managed in here a little bit. Okay, we've got our SATA cables here. Yeah, dude, it looks great. I don't see any problems with it. Okay, SATA cables are plugged in. Probably run all this down to the bottom. Okay, got all that in there. Looks pretty nice. Let's get our power supply here. So this is gonna get mounted like that. Okay, motherboard's plugged in. Let's get our CPU power cables plugged in. Don't know why I can't plug this one in. There we go. Good evening, Derek here, one of your IRL customers. Oh, what's up, Derek? I love my PC since you got me all sorted out. Hey, I'm glad to hear that, dude. I am glad to hear that. Okay. Can't see, there's no light down there. Okay, now we're good. Okay, that is plugged in. Get our SATA cable plugged in here. Okay. That is all plugged in. Ready to go there. Stay. They should make the motherboard power with a 90 turn. They make some like that. It's called the Lian Li Edge. Corsair has one called the Shift. So it's not the power cables that have a 90. The power supply actually has a different direction on how they connect. Okay, power supply is installed. Run that in there like that. I think we can kind of squish these guys down here. And this guy is going to go down and into here. Like so. Okay. Our GPU power cable is going to go right out here, out to the front. Just run it all the way out there for now. Not really much I can do there. There's no other anchor points in here. Okay. But it closes easily, so that's fine. Let's get our CPU cooler out here. You're making really good progress. I'll check that out. Yeah, no problem. Hey, how we doing, Brian? Or Brayon? Corsair Shift has gotten pretty good ratings as far as I know. Yeah, that one, and I mean the Lee and Lee one is really good too. The Lee and Lee one is just hard to find sometimes. Sick work. Wish I could afford something like that. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's expensive. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, it's a pretty cool PC for sure. What up, Alicia? Okay, so we want to mount it like this. So we put it like this. Fans are going to go to the right. I have to take these fans off and put the Montech ones on. I feel like that's gonna drag this whole thing off my table here. What are we doing so far? 36 minutes. We are cruising right now, you guys. Cruising. Okay, now our matching Montech fans. I use DisplayPort as much as I can. My daily drive-in, I have a 9600X with a 4070 Ti Super. And by daily driving, I game like once a week at best right now. Trying to jinx it? Jinx what? What are we talking about? That? One of the rubber covers came off? Yep. There we go. X870E is better. Max, this is for a customer. His name is, what was the name of this customer? His name is Scott. Talking about cruising? Oh, yeah, yeah. It's okay, I said at the beginning, I was like, oh, this might take like an hour and a half. At this rate, I think we're gonna be ahead of that time schedule. This PC, no, it's like $3,500. The GPU alone is $1,400. If you built it yourself, it might be closer to like 2,800 bucks. But for me to build it and ship it and, you know, card fee, all that good stuff, I think it was around 3,500. You got to think in the GPU and CPU alone, you're at about $2,000. GPU and CPU alone. No other components at that point. Yeah, it's not cheap. Yeah, it is an LTT screwdriver. And then something goes wrong? Nah. Not in the build phase. Oops. Something could go wrong later, but it won't be on the stream. It'll be during the software stuff. Yeah, exactly. If you spend that kind of money, like, you're good for a long time. It's always a better idea to spend a little extra up front so that your PC will last a long time. Because you don't want to be like, you know, 6 months down the road and be like, man, I wish I would have got a nicer PC, you know. GTX 970 still going. Whew. Thing is getting up there in age for sure. Great list, A. Thank you. Okay, got that. Forgot to take these out of the bag. Okay, cool. That was my logic when I got mine. Better to spend extra now than have to upgrade in a year and spend it later. Exactly. I always try and, like, when people tell me that they want to do something, like if they want to do something specific with it, they're like, hey, this is what I want to do. I'm like, okay, you can spend this much and, like, you'll be fine right now, but you'll probably in, like, you know, 6 months or a year be like, I want something better. I want an upgrade. Or if you spend, you know, a little bit more now, then you'll be set for a long time. I'm trying to give people those options. I'm on the fence keeping your X670 Tomahawk MSI. Yeah, I don't know that you'll see a huge benefit from upgrading that motherboard, but you never know. 1060 laptop. Sheesh. Exactly 10 years old now. Wow. It's impressive it's still kicking. Are the bigger fans easier to clean? Yeah, I guess so. The fins are maybe a little bit more spread out. They don't fit in every case. You can't always fit 140 millimeter fans in your case. All right, there we go. Got all these in here. Let's tighten them up. Okay, there we go. Got that all done. Put this guy back on. All right. Get these guys ready to go. Can take that off for now. Sure. Okay, we'll need to take that off in a second. Let's get our thermal grease on here. Something always goes wrong in the QA phase. Yo, what up, Rytech? It is a nice aquarium, right? Pretty sexy. Need to get, finally brought some more paper towels with me. Keep my fingers and everything clean. Cause this thermal grease freaking gets everywhere, man. What up, Rytech? How we doing, dude? You gaming later? Oh yeah, that made it a lot easier to keep it off my fingers. I have to start using that every time. Okay, plastic off, don't forget that. Just got done with a bunch of yard work, ready to game. All right, all right. Well, I'll be done here in not too long, buddy. Okay. Here we go. Top on. Come on. That bottom is always so hard to get started. I think we're on there, okay. Boom. Check that top one more time. Okay. That is good. Let's run this to the back. I'm gonna run it back out. Pump one there. Okay. Got that. We got our little 3-to-1 cable here. Got a question. For some reason, I have to reset my whole PC. The desk icon wasn't showing, or the application wasn't working properly. Yeah, Windows could have gotten corrupted. It's very possible. Windows is prone to do that. CPU fan. Okay, got that. I think I'm missing a cable down here somewhere. I feel like I did this last time too. I didn't see the cable. I definitely didn't plug in the cable for controlling. Yep, there it is. Controlling the RPM for all those pre-installed fans. So let's see if I can get that, squeeze that out here. This is a new build. I've never had any issue. I've had to take a couple of things to ASUS for RMA, and I've never had any issues. So, you know. Everybody's experience is different, I suppose, but I've never had any issues with them. Okay, there we go. Now all of these pre-installed fans are being controlled. Get our 3-to-1 going here. Here's the control for all of our CPU cooler fans. Okay. Run that down here. Type in !specs, guy, and it'll give you the full list of stuff that we've got going in here. Okay, clean that up in a minute. All right, and then these guys are gonna run to our controller. We're gonna run all this RGB off of the single controller here. So everything is just running off one channel. Okay, here's our short boy. Okay, and there's the last one. Okay. Got all that. Stick that down into the same bundle here. Like so. There we go. Like that. We need this connector Can I send you a pic of what? Is that a dual power supply case? No, no. The top section here is HDD cage. Why do you want me to send you a picture of something? It is a big, big old case. That is for sure. Okay, USB right there. Okay. And we gotta route this through all these guys now. That was not as smooth as I thought it would be. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's too tight. Okay. There. Through the top and down. We're gonna put this guy in. Route that through there. Plug her in. We'll pull that thing off the screen. We just need to pull that guy tight-ish. Not too tight, but just tight enough. Okay, that looks good. We can push this back in here now. All right. I'm gonna use one more cable tie back here. Extra cable tie. Just to clean all this stuff up. Okay, looks pretty good. And get our GPU in here. See how much length we need out of this guy. And then we'll be done. Look at that. 58 minutes, you guys. We're going nuts today. Montech King 95 Pro. Guy. Motherboard is a X870E Tomahawk Wi-Fi. If you guys type in ! specs, it'll tell you everything that's in here, so you don't have to ask for each component. GPU support. Don't put a space in there, and then you'll get it. Okay. I wasn't here to see how hard was it to get the AIO to seat smoothly onto the CPU. Not too hard. Took, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds to get it on there right. Okay, there we go. There's our GPU. It's a 2-slotter. No free PCs. Doesn't work like that. Gotta make money as a business, bro. Wouldn't be doing that if I'm giving away free PCs to random people. There's that. We need this guy. Up like so. Okay. All right. Hopefully pull a little bit of slack out of here. Okay. The bottom of that is a little bit ugly, but there's not really anywhere else for those cables to go, unfortunately. So, put these covers back on. And there was one thing I wanted to zip tie up front. These two cables, I wanted them to stay nice and tight together. Okay. Got that. Okay. Don't throw this away. And there we have it. That is a fully functional, as far as we know, fully built PC. What do we think, chat? Oh, I should probably put the back thing back on. There we go. Oops. There it is. That's a PC, boys. Felwolf, it's a Montech King 95 Pro. Easy for all you guys to say. It's easy for us to say, no, I'm not gonna give you a free PC. Because why would I do that? My main monitor is a 1440p 165 hertz. Brother, my PC is maybe worth $100 and a Happy Meal. All right, y'all. I want to see your favorite emojis in the chat. Favorite emojis in the chat right now. Sorry, the screen went black for a second. It's just because I was plugging it in. Favorite emojis in the chat. I need to see them before we turn this baby on for the first time ever. I'm gonna set the mood. I'm gonna bring down the lights. All right, let's see them. What do we got? What do we got? Oh, I like that Clan Miller. That's a fun one. Lunar. Oh, the joystick. Old school. Atari. Love it. What else we got, chat? Want to see a few more. Dude, just, you know, work hard. You gotta earn it for yourself. Life ain't free, life ain't fair. MB, love that, love that. All right, one more. I want to see one more. I want to see one more emoji in the chat before we turn this thing on. I know somebody's ready. Somebody's got one queued up. There it is. Felwolf. Oh, using some redneck emojis. Okay, now we're ready. All right, so here's what we got today. Ryzen 9 9900X RTX 5080. 48 gigs of RAM, 3 terabytes of storage, the MSI Mag X870E Tomahawk Wi-Fi, got the Montech King 95 Pro, Montech AX120 fans on the AIO. The AIO is a Thermalright Frozen Warframe 360. We've got a 1000 watt power supply from ASRock, and yeah, that's it. First ever power on. Hope you're ready for this. Boom. That's freaking sweet, you guys. And it's got an LCD screen on here, so we're gonna have some like readouts and stuff on there. Okay, good night. So pretty. So real nice. Real nice. Seventh gen i3 4 gig RAM laptop. Yeah. Dude, I love this case. 160 bucks is kind of a lot for a case, but when you compare it to like the Lee & Lee 11 Dynamic, it is, I would say, a little bit more unique in how it looks, and it comes with 6 pre-installed fans. I mean, the cost versus what you get is really, really good in this Montech case. And they're pre-installed, and they're reverse blade fans. These 5 here that come pre-installed, those are reverse blade fans. So these and these are intakes. This one's exhaust. And then all I had to do is add 3 more with the AIO, and it just has a nice clean look. Everything matches. Oh, it's so good. It's really cool, right, MB? Also, someone donated a diamond. I didn't see it earlier on TikTok, but thank you. The blue is really cool. Usually they set it to like just like a random like rainbow RGB, but I like that. That looks cool. We might have to set that as like the color for it when I take the pictures for it. Right, thank you for the likes. Oh, there it is, chat. There it is. Today's build with an RTX 5080. Get you the look from the front too. Get this cool curved glass right here. It's pretty sweet. All right, y'all. You build PC, do you also fix them? I do. Mostly for people who are local. People who are local will come in and ask me to fix their PCs, but it's not usually worth it for people to ship them to me for me to fix them. I'm located in Idaho. It's beautiful. Thank you, Grace. Yeah, I mean, you can, like, I can fix other stuff, but, like, you know, it's hard to do diagnostic work and stuff over the phone or whatever. It's generally not worth the time and cost. Like, the time of me to try and, like, direct other people to do a bunch of things and they don't have all the equipment and like, extra parts that I have, it just doesn't usually make sense. And shipping it is expensive. Like, you're gonna be looking at probably $200+ in shipping costs to get it here and back, you know? So it's not really recommended for most people. What about a laptop? I can work on laptops a bit. I'm not super, like, I'm not gonna be doing soldering or anything. So like if it needs just like something replaced, I can do that, but if it's like, if something needs to be soldered on the motherboard or something, or like micro soldering to like recover data, that's not something I can do. What happened to the forehead? Looks kind of ouchy. My forehead? I have a birthmark like right over here on my forehead. There's a little red mark up there. If that's what you're seeing, it's just a birthmark. Apologies for being AFK. How dare you, Mr. Rainbow? I mean, it is late at night, so I guess I can't really complain. The PC is beautiful, though. I agree. I love the Montech XR. I actually have a build. I just built one. You can look on my past live streams. I just built one in an XR. I've got another one in the queue with an XR. It's a great little case, and it's very reasonably priced. Well, then start saving up your money, man. If you're only 14, you know, you don't have rent and other stuff to pay for. Start working, start saving up your money. At 14, I was landscaping people's yards, weed whacking, all sorts of stuff, man. During the summer especially, but even like during the school year. And I was also, you know, a 3-sport athlete through high school, so I was playing sports all through high school too. But, you know, if you want to have spending money and be able to buy stuff, you got to work. It's just the way it works. In South Africa, I mean, I don't know anything about South Africa, but if you want to make money, you got to work. It's just how it goes. Sell lemonade. Came in late, but want to ask the specs. Type in !specs, Grace, and that'll have the full spec list there. Or you can look at the details of the video in the title, like description. I have it all in there too. Yeah, there you go, Richard. Richard's on it. Me to work and have passive income and you're good to go. I would love to do that. Unfortunately, none of the business venture things that I have right now are passive income. Besides, I mean, I have a rental. Like I bought a duplex when we moved here, which doesn't really provide passive income at the moment. It mostly just helps pay towards the mortgage since we live on one side. But you know, someday. I can ship overseas. It's just really expensive, Mr. Rainbow. I think you got to pay import taxes and like a $400 shipping fee to you probably. It's warm right now. I think it hit the upper 80s today in Idaho. Yeah, it just started warming up, I would say, in the last week. Like highs in the like low 70s to now like the last couple days in the 80s. It's great. I like the warm weather, especially because it's dry here. It doesn't get humid like Florida. Yeah. So it's like I can ship anywhere. It's just it gets really expensive really fast. All right, y'all. That is it for tonight. What are we at? We're at an hour and 17 minutes. We built this thing in like an hour flat. It's crazy. I'm just that good. I'm just kidding. But that was a very quick build. 80% humidity. Ugh. No thanks. I can't do it. I want to know what would be the cost of 1660s with 2600X. I wouldn't even be able to build that for you, I don't think, unless you bought the parts and sent them to me, because I don't buy used parts for PC builds for customers. It's just like warranty wise, it's just not worth it. You definitely should turn off your computer before you go to sleep, that's for sure. All right, y'all, for reals, that's it. I'm out. Thank you all so much for hanging out and chatting and making it fun and supporting the stream and my business. You know, I know several of you guys have bought computers from me over the years, so I appreciate all of you. We'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye. 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 Bye, 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 bye.